Let's talk about 2C, everyone's favorite topic in Raleigh. Are we feeling better, worse, or the same? The Canes not adding anyone in the offseason. So depending on what Rod will do there, whether he keeps KK there, if he moves Stink there, it doesn't sound like he moved Jarvie, but Jarvie may be open to moving himself. How are we feeling about 2C? Mike Maniscalco, your thoughts?
Again, it's the same, and it's the same question. What are you going to get out of that position? Yeah, I mean, it's you would have liked to have seen something a little bit more concrete this offseason to add to that position. Just from the fact that we look at and say, okay, is Jesperi Kotkaniemi going to take that step forward, or is it going to be something else? But I think that when you look at how the Canes play, there have been times, and when you want to go to advanced analytics and metrics, there are times when Jesperi Kotkaniemi is putting up points in the middle, and his line mates are putting up points, and he's the guy in the middle. He just might not be getting the assist, but he is on that line, and it's going that way. Look, I would love to tell you he's going to get 25 goals and 45 assists, and your 2C problem is solved. I don't know that. What I think has to happen with him is he needs to decide on what kind of player he's going to be. And the more I watch him play, the more I see him in that Jordan Staal role of you're not going to put up points, but you're going to be an absolute bitch to play against, shutting down the other team. Their 2C is not going to get anything when he's on the ice. And we've seen that he can be physical. We can see that he can skate. But when you're the third overall pick and you go to an original 6 team and then you have all of the offer sheet drama that came around with that, you're expected to be more than that. And he knows it. We get that. But the one thing that I can tell you is going into the season, the Canes have flexibility where if they feel they need to address this, they can. They got the cap space to do it, and they have other things that they can do. But at the same time, what we just talked about with the goaltending, we know what we have with the guys down the middle. And that being said, when Mark Jankowski passes Alexander Ovechkin, I believe in 2035 for the all-time goal scoring list because of the pace he's on in a Carolina Hurricanes uniform, this will all be a foregone conclusion. You're welcome, Shane.
What? I thought you said that was water in your bottle.
No.
He said no, definitely not.
It is the fun question I always love to answer because I always fire it back with people because the situation is the same. Yep. Can Jesperi Kotkaniemi be the number 2 guy that everybody wants him to be? That's the question. We'll only know as time will tell when he gets on the ice of where he is. I think Jesperi needs to find confidence. I think he lacks it and the ability to find his scoring touch, playmaking, because there are games where like, holy cow, who's that guy?
Yep.
And he needs to find it every single night and just build on it. But he just hasn't been able to do it. Still young enough to do it, without a doubt. But I always go back to the big question of like, what this summer, where were you going? Where were you going to find a number 2 center? I mean, teams aren't just going to give him away. Was going to Anaheim and saying, hey, we'll take Mason McTavish for Jesperi. Is that a huge upgrade of getting another, under 6 foot tall centerman who, can get points in the power play? Does he have? Sure, but is that a giant upgrade that you need to make that type of move now? Probably not. And so you still remain patient that Jesperi can come out of the gates flying and get things done in the middle. But I think we're the same. He's great in the locker room. The guys love him. I think everybody in that room would love to see Jesperi explode out of the gates and get a point a game for a while and really find a streak to build on. He just has never had that long, 10, 15 game streak to kind of build to points and everyone start talking. When's the last time this guy's had something great for a long streak? We talk about him and be like, look what Jesperi's doing. Look what Jesperi's doing. It's just a quiet, goes about his business, and he's still continued to search for the confidence in his game. So right now with the number 2C, I'm the same. But I have not given up that he can get there either.
Yeah.
So
I think the last time he went on a streak of sorts, I think it was a couple seasons ago. I think him and Tavo both went on a little bit of a streak, and they were our 2 most consistent players. And everyone was like, oh, these are not our normal, ones that we're like, all right, here we go. Like they're both unlocking. But I think that's the last time. But my 2 points to you guys, like you guys touched on 2 points that I've said a lot, is one, going out to find another 2C. Like you're right, they don't just grow on trees. Teams are going to want a lot for them. There wasn't a lot of options. And you're not just going to go out and spend money on something that's not actually an upgrade just to like try to change something up. Of course, you don't always want to be like, well, wait until next year. But I do want to say like next year is a big open class of a lot of players that are either going to need to stay with their teams or they're going to be available. But the Canes, I mean, the thing with KK is his confidence is I feel like 2 things is he doesn't always have consistent line mates. And that's because some of the players on his wings, like here we had 2 new players. We had Robinson, we had Natchez. Natchez went on a run, but then he was gone, and then Robinson got cold again and he dropped down. So then KK was kind of left like, okay, do I make new chemistry with my new line mates? And I also feel like KK, like you said, Mike, he's a very like stall player. But the thing is, you have Jordan Staal on your team. So it's a guy ready to come into a role that's currently occupied. And
for 2 more years.
Yeah. And I think like if you're wanting that role at a 2C, great. You've got a new Jordan Staal coming right up. But I think a lot of people are wanting a different type of 2C.
Yeah.
So I think
people want the offensive 2C, but
there's one that comes to mind.
Who's that?
He lives in Pittsburgh right now.
Well, yes.
They're gonna be garbage. And I've started sending the text. I've told Tripp to work the lines.
Yeah.
Well, eventually, I'm pretty sure that there's 3 places, maybe 2 only, that guy would go play, and I think one would be for Rod Brind'Amour. So Sid, I know you listen to the podcast all the time. Probably listens to ours more.
Yeah, but he follows Shane on social media closely.
Yeah, he texts me. He loves the new road jerseys, and I think Crosby would look good on the back of one.
Oh, 87. Yeah, we can speculate because that's what we're doing now. But to Shane's point, I think that you can go into the season and see where we're at. But where I was driving at is, when Vincent Trocheck wore a Canes uniform, the thing he got points. But he wasn't scoring 30 goals in a Canes uniform. What was he really good at? Winning draws on the penalty kill for one of those units, and he was a good power play player. Like I think if KK and Shane, this, if he could just get some apples on the power play, get something going in with a man advantage, that's where maybe the confidence would come in, because now you're going to come in and you're going to look at the score sheets, and you're going to have crooked numbers in the goal category and in the assists category. And that's where you want it. And who cares where they come from? But the thing that I loved about Trocheck when he wore a Canes uniform was you knew that the other team's second line wasn't going to get much on Vincent. So that's where I don't think there's anything wrong with having 2 Jordan Staals on your team. I think most teams in the league would sign up for that. But, it's also where the goal's coming from. And a lot of that is, fair or not, going to be pointed to who is that second line center and what that line is going to look like and who it's going to be, because we know there's plenty of talent now with this team up front to score goals.
I'm not mad if he doesn't score and his line mates do. I'm fine with that. That's a goal either way you count it.
Yeah, I think KK, I mean, when he plays well, he plays big and he plays that physical style. So opening night, when the puck hits the ground, as long as he beats the piss out of whoever's beside him on the first shift, then we're off and running. Like, you got to create your own confidence and energy around yourself. You create that aura from a fan base and the media. Just pound people in like he's freakishly strong. I don't think he understands how big he is.
Yeah.
But I think that's how he should open it up and then just throw everything to the wind. Like, just go.
See, Finns, there are 2 kinds of Finns that I've encountered. As Shane knows Russians. Finns are either the super nicest human beings on planet Earth, or like they're the people that come out of the forest when it's 8 degrees outside with a wolf around them. And there's Jarkko Ruutu. Tuomo Ruutu had a little bit, even though he's the nicest human being on planet Earth, Tuomo had that edge to him. Mm-hmm. I want to see that out of Jesperi. That edge, that play nasty, and I'm not saying play dirty, but what Shane's saying, he laid some checks in the postseason against the Caps that were good. I'm like, do that.
I might get Ole Jokinen to call him before every game to see him ripping the teams he's coaching over there. I thought he was going to kill those kids in the locker room one day.
Yeah, exactly. So there we go. We've got it all figured out. I hope everybody. Thanks for listening to the podcast, to the SurgeCast.